It's your local election headquarters. A measure that sparked much controversy during last week's election has passed. Prop 36 will heighten penalties for drug charges and shoplifters alike. And Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper joins us live to speak about what the next couple of months could look like as we transition into tougher rules and what the public can expect as the state makes those changes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course, and like we were speaking about, the resounding number of people who voted on Proposition 36 voted yes, with about 70% of people, about 8.6 million, voting yes for Proposition 36 and 31% voting no. Why do you think that Californians want to see those harsher penalties when it comes to certain crimes?
I think it was personal. People were so fed up. We go in the stores, your viewers, they have to push the button, have someone come to give them deodorant, toothpaste behind the plexiglass. They've seen folks walk out without paying, so it's really in their face. And think about it. Nothing is passed by that high of a percentage.
And when do these penalties go into effect? One of the most notable is having property or stealing money that's up to $950. That would have been a misdemeanor, but now if someone has prior theft convictions, that's going to be a felony. So when will that go into effect?
So it's effective December 18th, and it's retroactive. So if you have prior convictions based on that, that adds into it. So I think it's good, and really a lot of it came down to accountability. Individuals knew they would not get in trouble, and it's just pretty much been do what you want for the past 10 years.
And we know that some advocates and leaders, one of the most notable, Governor Gavin Newsom, they've pushed back against Proposition 36. He was loud about it, saying that it could lead to mass incarceration. Do you believe that our prisons have the resources to take in more individuals?
I don't think that's the case. You think about it, people are fed up with it. They don't care. They want something done with it. And when 70% of your constituents, your voters that elect you, want something done, you got to read the tea leaves on this, and that's important. And I think Prop 36 goes a long way. And the issue is, it's been around for 10 years, Prop 47. I tried to put bills through the legislature, couldn't get them out of committee. Why 20 bills this year that came through the legislature that got hearings? Because it got so bad. And that's really the big issue. The legislature wasn't doing us any favors. They had to in the face of this.
And there's just so much that's packed into Proposition 36 when it comes to theft and also drugs. We know that folks are also going to be given the option to complete drug treatment and go to rehabilitation. But do you think that that could possibly take away rehabilitation options for certain victims or folks that need those resources?
So prior to Prop 47, we had drug court, and participation was high, and the success rate was very high. When Prop 47 came in, our drug courts dropped by 70% participation in drug courts. So we had it before, we're going to have it again. And sometimes when you have an addiction, you have to be forced into treatment. So we can force these folks into treatment. If they complete it, their record gets expunged. So it's a win-win for everyone. And who wouldn't want that?
And how exactly would you say that increasing the penalties also for drugs like fentanyl will help combat the homelessness crisis? Because I know that that was mentioned here in Proposition 36 as well.
We've had 400 deaths here in Sacramento because of fentanyl. It is a big issue. Fentanyl kills more young adults from 18 to 28 than car accidents. It's an issue. The legislature turned a blind eye to it and didn't do anything to solve it. So in effect, the citizens want to solve this. We want compassionate care, but if you're a dealer and you're killing our kids, we're going to hold you accountable. And that's really the big issue. It's just common sense measures.
Another note that was brought up by those that oppose Proposition 36, they were talking about the budget, that this could cost the state a lot of money. So how much do you think that it could cost to make these changes and also take in more people into our prison systems?
Well, I think it costs some, but look at the losses, the billions of dollars of the economy. It's really a big issue. And like I said, people are concerned about it. It's in their face. That's why they voted for it. There's money there for it. The prisons have capacity. The jails have capacity. The reality is most of these folks are doing county time. That's where they are right now. Very few folks go to prison anymore.
Do you have a number, any sort of estimate as to what it could cost at this point in time?
I think no one really knows. We'll see, but we're ready to deal with it. Right now, we're formulating a plan, working on what it looks like in our jails and how we'll deal with those additional inmates.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and informing a lot of people here that are watching that also voted on Proposition 36 on how exactly the state and Sacramento will implement this.
Thank you.
Of course.